So today your learning intention is to use dashes in your writing. Now there are lots of different ways that you can use dashes in your writing, but the two ways that we're learning about today are using dashes in your writing with interruptions, which normally happens when somebody's speaking. So you would use speech marks, and using dashes in your writing to show that you're adding extra information or important information or urgent information. Okay, so let's have a little look. So a dash showing an interruption. So here we go. We've got the girl is my, so the person speaking is about to say something, and then they are interrupted. Sister interrupted Miles. She looks just like you. So Miles has interrupted the person who's speaking, and to show that he's been interrupted or she's been interrupted, there is a dash here at the end of the person who's speaking's sentence, and then it's followed by speech marks. Another way of using a dash is in the same way that commas or brackets can be used to contain extra information. So here we go. When we get there, if we get there, I'll have something to say to him about his confounded map. So the extra bit of information about when they get there. So when we get there, if we get there is the extra information here. On either side, there is a dash to show that it's been added to the sentence. Now, you could also use a bracket to show this information is extra. So when we get there, if we get there, in brackets. And you could also show this extra information with a comma as well. So I'll just move this up so you can see it. When we get there, if we get there, comma, comma on either side. I'll have something to say to him about his confounded map. Okay, so things that you need to remember about adding dashes to your writing. Firstly, a dash can be used in place of a comma or a bracket. I'll just move this down so you can see. So think about whether a comma or a comma or a bracket would work before inserting the dash. If it works, then it'll be okay. So here's your example. Jenny loved to run. She was the fastest in her class. The race should be easy for her. Next example, an interruption. Interruptions normally happen within dialogue, so your dash would need to be at the end of the spoken part, which is being interrupted. Okay, so example, what about the... So the interruption is the person speaking here is about to say something else, but someone's interrupted and said the word for them, finishing the sentence for them. So eggs was the next word in the sentence, and to show that that's missing, we've put a dash at the end. Okay, so on the next slide, I'd like you to have a go at making these sentences right by adding a dash along to them. Okay, so here we go. Where's the ruler? Stephen interrupted. I lent it to Jess. So I would like you to write that out and put the dash in the correct place. You can pause the video as you're doing that. So pause the video now and I will give you the answer in a moment. Okay, so here's the answer. So it's where's the dash, because the person's going to say ruler, and then Stephen has interrupted the person and said ruler for them. So where's the ruler? Stephen interrupted. I lent it to Jess. Let's have a go at the next one. So this time, where does the dash go? Here. Oh, I've actually put the answer, so I'm going to cover it up. Ooh. Okay, you'll be able to see it anyway now. Dearie me. So Billy loved the rides at Alton Towers, especially Oblivion. He'd never been on roller coasters quite like these. And I've already given you the answer, so it says here. So Billy loved the rides at Alton Towers. And then there's a dash, especially Oblivion. That's the extra information. He'd never been on roller coasters quite like these. Okay, so now it's your task to go back to your grid, your learning grid. And on your learning grid, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sentences. All of these sentences should have a dash in them somewhere. So firstly, you need to identify which sentences are an interruption. And remember that the rule for those is it's always in speech. So the interruption is going to have speech marks somewhere. And the other ones is the added information. So what is the added information in these sentences? Once you've had a go at doing these tasks, there's an extension task which is in files on Teams. Have a go at doing that. You will need to print that off. However, with these ones, you can just write them out in your jotter or on a piece of paper. So I hope you found this video useful and you've got a little bit more of an understanding of when you will use dashes. Let's go back to the success criteria. Okay, so today you should now be able to use dashes in your writing to show interruptions and to add extra information. Thank you for watching.